Maria Toro loved the Lord and His Word. She had 1 daughter and 6 sons who also loved the Lord. But her husband did not share her passion for knowing God.
He would always read our Bibles. He would always call us names and call me names all the time. He would always just be very difficult.
Maria started listening to Revive Our Hearts with Nancy DeMoss Wogemuth on the radio. Revive Our Hearts was a lifeline for Maria as storms started to rage all around her. Her husband was unfaithful and left their family for a time. When Maria welcomed him back, he led their family in a difficult move.
When he came back, he said, we're moving to Pennsylvania.
And there, the storms continued to rage. Maria was diagnosed with cervical cancer. Her doctor told her it came from an infection her husband gave her, a result of his unfaithfulness. Around this time, Maria noticed something about her sons. They sang all the time.
And the boys said, and we moved, and there was no more people to play with, so they went down in the basement and they started singing together.
Rescue me, yeah, yeah. Rescue me.
But even while her sons were making joyful music, the storms continued to rage. Maria needed her husband's help as she sought treatment for cervical cancer. Instead, he left the family for good.
The last time that he left was harder than the other times because I had trusted him back and there were times when I would just sit and cry and those boys would hug me and say, Mom, remember Jesus is the one. They would hug me and say, He will help us, He will help us. I just ran to the Word of God. It just lifted me up and still does,
During this time, God used Revive Our Hearts to get the Word of God into Maria's heart. She found practical helps for how to keep going day after day. She says that without Revive Our Hearts,
I don't think I would have made it because I didn't know how to do it. I needed someone tangible to teach me how to go 1, 2, 3. You know what I mean?
Maria saw God answer prayer. She went back to her doctor and got a clean bill of health. No cervical cancer. She knew her sons needed to see God provide for them as well. She remembers them asking her,
Mama, what are we going to do without a daddy? And I said, I know that the stats are Spanish women with all these many kids. You're all going to be criminals. But we're going to show the whole world that Jesus will not allow this in our family.
Around this time, Nancy began teaching a series on Revive Our Hearts called Seeking Him. That series and the workbook that went with it came at just the right time for Maria.
Just the sentence, seeking Him, helped me to picture myself going to Jesus, getting on my knees and saying, this is what I have and this is what's going on. I need you to fill me up.
When we humble ourselves, we become candidates for the grace of God. He gives us everything we need.
I put some money together and I bought it. I bought 8 or 9 books.
Around this time, Maria's sons sensed God calling them into full-time music ministry. They invited their mom to come on the road with them and give counsel to the audience. They said,
you come with us and you mentor the girls. And that's what we did, I traveled with them everywhere and I would minister to the girls.
And Maria brought those Seeking Him CDs and books with them on tour. Their family had a lot of time together to go through this Bible study.
We would do it in the car. So as we were touring, going to different churches, we would study Seeking Him.
Those 6 boys and their band members were looking for godly women to date. They wanted Maria to teach Seeking Him to their potential spouses.
When they started dating, they asked me to do it with their girlfriends.
Maria's investment had a huge impact on this family. They're still in ministry, and some of them are serving as pastors.
2 pastors in England and 1 pastor in California.
And Maria's daughters-in-law? They're using resources from Revive Our Hearts to minister to women in their own churches. And now Maria is investing in a new generation as she and her grandchildren listen to Revive Our Hearts together.
The kids know about Ansley the most.
Remember the question we heard earlier? These boys wondered how they could go through life without an earthly father. Now we know the answer.
It's been 20-some years ago, and they are standing good men that live for Jesus.
Rescue me. Won't you rescue me? Yeah.